Hello, this is home, and as far as we know, it's the only place we can live in. Our home, our world, is wonderful, beautiful, at times simply amazing. But not everything going on in the world is going so well. Many things need to be changed. And this we sometimes feel as, a burden, a terrible responsibility. But I think we're lucky. We're lucky because as teachers, everything we do today will have an impact tomorrow. So it's today that we need to plant the seeds of tolerance, understanding, caring and responsibility, so that our children will become responsible, tolerant, peaceful citizens tomorrow. This process of actually making links is what I call clicking. What is clicking? Clicking is simply making links between the different teaching resources that we use. Could be textbooks, stories, as in this case, songs or the internet. And in making this link, we will work with the things that we need to change in the world. And in the process, we will be activating children's awareness, interest and critical thinking skills, which I think is paramount. Now, how do we go about stories? Okay, one way is this story is called The Big Fire. One way is actually to address the issue through the animals' emotions. First, they start being scared because of the fire and its consequences, because of the destruction of the habitat, which is likely to happen. But then they are happy because altogether they managed to solve a big problem. So we're talking about the value of joint activity. We're talking about the value of collective action and also working together to a common goal. In this case, the efforts of the little bird are as important as those of the elephants or the flamingos. And I think the different animals could also represent different cultures or different countries. And we might learn from the experience and trying to solve problems all together, joining our efforts, our minds. This is the kite, this is for a bit older kids, and this is the story of two families. One is Palestinian, the other one is Israeli. They're obviously separated by the fence. But more than anything else, they're separated by the parents. The parents don't like each other. So this is a story of overcoming difficulties and differences, tolerance, and in this case, are the children themselves the ones who actually work and try to come up with a plan so that parents, maybe they won't be friends, but parents at least accept each other. So we're working with cultural diversity, tolerance, understanding, and the children themselves are the ones working to promote peace. Then we move on to another story which is Lost on the Coast. This is a story for older kids. In the picture, Rawiri, who's standing by a stranded whale on the coast of New Zealand, he comes up with a plan, he comes up with an idea as to how to save the whale. And throughout the story we have different prompts, asking the children, inviting them to reflect on the possible ways in which the whale should be saved, on why the whale is there. Obviously this is a result of an oil slick. And then we address a number of different issues, right? Like, for example, at the end of a story, once the problem has been overcome, Rawiri feels very happy because he feels like a Greenpeace hero. So we can use this opportunity to relate this to things kids can relate to because it's part of their world, they know about it. In this case, the work of this NGO. Okay, so you can ask them to have a look at the different campaigns in which they work, or actually show them that they can play online games, environmental online games, on the NGO's website. Or maybe talk about the work itself of the organisation. Or you can make a link, a further link to music. This is a disc that was released in support of Greenpeace. Now, of course, along the different, in the different titles in the series, we work with a number of different issues, and there are many more. But I'm going to just show two titles that probably you know. One is Food for the Winter, in which we work with joint action, a sense of community, solidarity and sharing. And the other one is Can I Play for the little ones, where we work with acceptance, empathy, sharing and happiness. I think this all ties in very well. I mean, the way I think we can work with the stories, and they offer us a fantastic or brilliant opportunity. I relate this to something that back in the 1970s, Paulo Freire identified different types of education systems, and he identified one which is all pervasive today, all over the world, which is the banking system of education, in which the teacher's role is to deposit the necessary knowledge into the students so as to increase their market value. The problem I see with that perspective is that then education becomes a commodity, something with which other people or corporations make a lot of money, but we're losing this as a universal right. And I honestly believe that education is a universal right. So when we say that, that sounds really big. It's like, wow, what a tremendous responsibility we have, huh? But then I think we also have a fantastic opportunity. Knowing that when we teach, we touch the future, is knowing that every little bit we do now, it doesn't matter if you're a little bird or a big elephant, everything we do now will have an impact on the future. And I think that is a blessing. Thank you very much. And enjoy the readers.